Hey, honey, why are these people talking that way? What are they talking about?
I don't know.
Do you think they could help with my quest for CM movie?
No.
That's not funny. That's not funny at all. You'd like to go to work, but they shut it down. I got a right to go to work, but there's no work here to be found. Yes, they say we're gonna have to pay what's owed. We're gonna have to reap from some seed that's been sown.
Germany. Germany, mini.
Her formal name is Minnie Ravioli. She's Italian. Please stop bringing African killer bees across the state line. Thank you. Was that on To Tell the Truth or Reach for the Top or something like that? One of those game shows from the 70s?
I don't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Might have even been 1980 for all I know. Here's a question for you. Do you remember in the late, about 1990, 89, 90, whatever, but they had those toaster buses that were on what do you call it, the Vancouver to Tsawwassen ferry terminal thing, and they had like the individual lights above, like the old highway buses, but they also had these radical cloth seats that were shorter than the usual. Did you ever wonder why they did that?
No.
I did. I wondered, but I never found out. Those buses are probably long, all but scrapped. You probably drank your morning juice out of a cup made from one of those buses this morning. Hey, did you know I'm up to 10 gigs of free space in my phone, but in order to do that, I had to sacrifice pretty much all my media. Like, I had to delete, well, not really delete, but I transferred it up to the cloud. So, uh, even though I don't have my music movie catalog local anymore, I still have access to those movies. I just had to move it off my phone because they take up so much space. But as I said, the bright part of that is I got 10 gigs back, so that's something. If you work graveyard shift solely and strictly because you don't like being or working with people, you've got some problems, I think. If you wish upon a star, you look sillier than you are. My pet budgie's name is Roxy. She's female. I like turbulent water better than still water because it's more fun to watch. Hey, how come when you're outside and you take a deep breath, it sort of smells different and your body feels a little different in that moment? Why is that?
You mean cool air?
Well, any kind of air, just as long as it's outside air. Although you probably wouldn't get that same reaction if you're like to breathe in a sulfur factory. But then that's indoors. I was saying outdoors, so I guess. But mind you, I guess you could get like the outgassing, since sulfur is such a fine gas. From like you could be standing directly outside the sulfur factory, and and then you get, like I said, the off for outgassing or whatever they call it from the factory there. So it still might affect your sense of smell, possibly. TikTok algorithms are such total bullshit. It's bullshit. They don't they don't follow no algorithms. It's completely random. They've they've fooled you. They've tricked you. They've deceived you. There's no like do this and follow this hash brown tag and or whatever it is. It's just completely random. So whatever you've been led to believe about following the algorithm is bullshit. It's not that at all. It's just completely random. My mouth is dry. I can't tell you the number of years, literally decades, that I thought his name was Freddie Prize Jr., but it's only because I'd never heard his name. I just saw it in print the odd time, and when you're skimming through something, you know, you're more likely to think it's a word, that you're familiar with. So I'd never heard the word or name Prinz before, but prize, obviously, right? So it wasn't until one day I saw it, like Freddie Prinz, not Prize, but Prinz Jr. in print, and that's when I realized I was wrong.
And look at
Oh, it does answer why some people looked at me funny whenever I would say Freddie Prize Jr.
me.
I could probably beat my mother in a rolling coaster race. I don't mean my mother of today because she's dead, but I mean like my mother, I guess back in the 70s, I guess, when I was a child. Like she's probably in her 30s or 40s or whatever, but like even at her fittest prime, I think I could have beat her in a coaster race.
Hmm.
But I mean, I'd have to be the age that I'm at now, right? In other words, so she'd be like 35 or whatever, and I'd still be like 57, 58. And only then could I think I could beat her in a race. Realize in today's world, you can't. You can wrap a balloon around the top of a carousel, but you can't talk about it. You can't say anything about it because then they'll just remove the balloon, right? But you're not allowed. Like it's kind of weird that you're able, like scientifically, we've reached a state where we're able to do that, but yet socially we're not allowed to talk about it. I mean, is that not the ultimate paradox?
I don't know. I really don't know what you're rambling on about. It's been like half an hour of continuous talk.
Oh, I'm just Asperging, I guess.
Maybe you need to have a nap.
Sounds like it. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. Did you ever picture frogs like pedaling tricycles, like those little bikes you get when you're like a little kid?
Mm.
I think I did once. There's an episode, I believe, of the Brady Bunch where I think they come across some racist kid or adult or something. Um, don't ask me the details. In fact, I might be out of my whack altogether, but I just seem to. Something suggests to me that there was an episode of the Brady Bunch where they encounter either a kid or an adult who's racist, and I'm sure it was most unpleasant for everybody.